You know, on the Hero4 Black and on our camera lineup, there's over 150 different capture settings that are available on some of our cameras, and that can be very overwhelming and very intimidating to an average user. Maybe someone that's never even used a camera at all. Maybe the iPhone is the only camera they've ever had experience with. And so we're going to give you guys some tips and tricks so that when you're using your camera, you're helping talk to your consumers at your stores, that they have a great way of understanding how to get great photos and videos and really maximize the benefits of our camera. From there, man, one of the greatest things that a GoPro enables is the perspectives. You can mount this thing anywhere, and especially with the new Hero4 Session, in places that have never ever been possible for. And we'll talk about all the great ways to mount the camera, some of the new mounts and accessories that are going to enable you guys to get some really rad perspectives. And then from there, we'll talk about how we take this social. How do we share our footage with our friends, our family, so that we can create that inspiration for new ways to use the camera, different ways to go out there and capture your memories. And from there, how are you guys going to help share this training information with your staffs on the floor, and ultimately provide a great way for our consumers to have a really great experience when they come into your retail stores or look to pick one up and go out and use it. Thank you for adjusting that. I'm insane. So, first thing, guys, one thing is if you guys ever have questions, you guys are curious about feeds and speeds, you know, tech specs of the Session versus a Hero4 Silver. You're looking at all the different accessories and the mounts. We are launching a brand new training app that will be available on all iOS, both tablet, so both iPad and iPhone, as well as all Android devices. It will be available in 10 languages, and this will be coming in the next couple weeks. So we'll launch officially in the US and most of the rest of the world on 7/12. And so this should be coming either on 7/12 or within a week or two, but before the end of the month. You can just go on and you just search GP Training in the iOS or the Google Play Store, and then you can download the app so that you can really, you know, on the floor, it's a good virtual cheat sheet or a visual selling tool to really help your users out there have the best experience. So as we move into the new products, the Hero4 Session and the Hero Plus LCD, this camera is truly the lightest and the smallest GoPro that we have ever created. It is 50% smaller and 40% lighter than the current Hero4. If you look at this camera, comparing it to the Hero4, you can see that it's about the same size as just the GoPro lens itself. So whether you're throwing it on the top of your head, whether you're putting it on your chest, whether you're just using it on a freeway, it's 2.6 ounces. So it's going to feel as if it's not even there. As well as you'll be able to mount it in places that you maybe couldn't put the form factor of a Hero4 or something in a waterproof housing. I mean, we can compare it, looking on the top of the helmet, for example, how much bigger this really is. You can see this here, you can see how big and Teletubby style this looks sitting on the top of the head. It looks like I have my bun on my top of my head. And we compare that to this new Session, how much smaller that really looks. Almost as if it's not there, not obtrusive, especially if you're doing stuff like mountain biking, where there might be trees right above your head. Last thing you want to do is get your camera ripped off because it hits a branch. That's happened to me a few times. Next is we can't sacrifice anything when it comes to the quality. You know, that's what we're known for, is our, you know, Emmy award-winning quality when it comes to the images. So this thing is going to deliver 1440 at 30 for those extremely great 4x3 full HD resolutions. It's going to give you that 1080p at 60, which is like everybody's go-to mode, one of my favorite resolutions and settings. And then you can't, you know, be a GoPro without having epic slow motion capabilities. So at 720 and 100 frames a second, it's going to give you all the power you need to slow stuff down, but still maintain that epic image quality. The other cool thing is it's going to build in an 8 megapixel sensor, and it can take up to 10 photos in a second. So this truly is designed to be the smallest, the lightest, and the most convenient GoPro that we have ever created. And one of the things is it's got a really unique one-button design. I'm able to just click the top button, And with one press of the button, the camera is going to power on. It's going to start recording in the default mode. And when I'm done and I'm ready to stop recording, I just click it again. It's going to stop recording, transfer all the content to the SD card, and then power off. So an incredible way to manage your battery, an incredible way when you're doing something active where you don't want to be worrying about fumbling with buttons and is it in the right mode, is it in the right resolution. Make it super convenient just to press and hold. What if I want to take photos? What if I want to do time lapse? Well, all I have to do is press and I hold it down for 3 to 4 seconds. It's going to power on the camera, and now it's taking photos at every half second. If you want to change that up, if you want to be able to access more things, we'll talk about how you get full control of the camera in the coming slides. And that's where it really comes in with the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. And we'll talk about how you can maximize the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi to get more control and full access of all the benefits that this camera has. The other great thing is we wanted to make this thing extremely durable and waterproof. I mean, it wouldn't be GoPro if it wasn't engineered to that GoPro quality, that it couldn't fall off somebody's head skydiving and land on the ground. Or what we were doing 2 weeks ago, we were in Oregon golfing with the Bryan brothers. They're famous trick shot golfers, and we were actually using this as a golf ball. They were chipping it out of the sand trap, and we hit it about 150 times with a golf club. And I still have the camera, I still use it, it's still sitting on my desk. And yes, the body has a few dents and things, but it still works, it still is in perfect condition. And it wouldn't be that if we expected anything else. And the coolest part, no housing needed to take it underneath the water. It's waterproof to 10 meters right here in my hand. So whether I'm playing in the pool, whether I'm snorkeling, even scuba diving, this is going to get me pretty much everything I need, and never having to put it inside an extra housing. Never needing to worry, did I forget my waterproof housing up there, or did I seal it correctly? From there, you also have some really unique items. What happens, this is a cube, so it can be mounted in any direction in the housing. It can be mounted vertically, it can be mounted sideways, upside down. Because of the cube design, it will fit the frame in any direction so that you can mount it in any place and really make sure you get the best camera angle. And what's cool is if you have the camera pointing up, it's going to be facing right side up. Well, if you flip it upside down, the camera will automatically recognize that and flip the image for you so you don't have to do that in post. From there as well, you saw that amazing Nissan. That was a legendary car, brand new, and we were super excited to be a part of that. Well, one thing that you want to get is you want to get that amazing engine roar. You want to get that noise of the tires screeching. And with some cameras, it's very difficult because you're going to pick up a lot of wind noise. Going 200, 300 kilometers an hour. With traditional cameras, the wind noise is going to make the audio practically zero. All you're going to hear is wind. Well, there are 2 microphones in this camera, one on the front and one on the back. And there's some special software and an algorithm in the camera so that when you're going, and maybe it's on the front of the hood of your car, you're going 200 kilometers an hour, the camera will recognize the wind noise and flip from the front microphone to the back microphone, eliminating the wind noise. Or vice versa, maybe you have it mounted where the back is facing and it's pointed back at you, and you got a ton of wind noise coming at the back, it will switch to the front mic. So you're always ensuring you're going to get the best audio quality no matter what you're doing. In addition, the microphone is built just like our ear. And with no waterproof housing, the audio quality that you get on this camera is revolutionary. None of us have ever heard some of the sounds of surfing coming out of the water after you caught the most epic barrel and standing up there cheering at your friends. Some of the audio I've been able to hear from, we just recently went wakeboarding and wake surfing, and using this camera, I've never heard audio like that in water. Because even with my Hero 4, it's jam-packed inside that waterproof housing, which means it's going to be muffled, it's going to be hard to hear, and ultimately not ideal. And that's what's so great, is they put a special membrane inside the microphone that mimics the same anatomy of our ear. So just like when you go underwater, everything kind of sounds domed and muffled, but when you come out of the water, your ear membrane will drain the liquid, and within about a second, you can start to hear normal. Well, they took that same concept and built that into our Hero 4 Session. So when it's submerged, you can get good audio, but when it comes out, after about a second, the membrane will drain the water, and now you'll be hearing crystal clear audio as if it was never submerged underwater. We also have great features that we built in, just like our other cameras. We want to make it simple and easy to manage your content, so we built highlight tagging in. We built Pro Tune, so you can fine-tune your ISO as well as your sharpness right from the camera to give you those professional level settings. We'll talk about how we mount the camera next. I mean, the one thing is this is truly designed to be the most low-profile mount, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the things that come in the box. But we also want to make sure we talk about the other new camera in our lineup, because not everybody is that prosumer. Not everybody needs the smallest and lightest. Somebody might just need something that's simple and easy to use. And so at the beginning of June, we launched the new Hero Plus LCD. Really designed to give that entry-level Hero customer the added benefits of a touchscreen and Wi-Fi, so that they can frame up their shots, that they can use it controlling the app and the remote. And so what you'll see here is very similar specs to the Hero, but we upped it to have 8 megapixels, so you get better image quality than the Hero. You also have a burst of up to 5 frames in a second. And again, even if you're at that entry level, we want to make sure you have that Emmy Award-winning image quality. And so we deliver 1080-60, 720-60 to give you all of those great resolutions and frame rates. And then again, the same GoPro durability and waterproof. So built into the housing just like the Hero, so that it's waterproof to 40 meters, and giving you one new feature that I'm really excited about. This is something that no other camera actually has in the lineup currently, and that is built-in video trimming. So once you've highlight tagged your moment, and you've marked where that epic fail, or maybe you crashed real hard and you marked it, now what you can do when you're reviewing the footage, I go skiing and you're riding up the chairlift, you got a lot of time to kill sometimes on the chairlift. Well, now with built-in video trimming, I can open up my camera, touch the LCD, go to that highlight tag, and if I love that moment, I can trim a 5, a 15, or a 30-second clip, hit save, and it will actually save that in the same resolution and frame rate to my SD card. So when I get home to offload it in the computer, I don't have to worry about going through my footage anymore and trying to find those little segments in the selects. I already have them pre-output into the device. And what's great, man, we wouldn't just build this into one camera. So in the near future, within the next 2 months, we're going to have this available for the Hero 4 Silver. And if you use an LCD touch backpack with the Hero 4 Black Edition, it will just come with a software update and a firmware update later this summer. So how does this look in the entire lineup, from entry level all the way to our high-end performance, our pro level? So we have our Hero and our Hero Plus LCD, truly giving our entry-level customer a great way to be a part of the GoPro family. Be proud to own one of those 2 cameras and know that they can utilize this with any of the mounts and accessories, use it in the same way our professional and our athletes do with the Black Edition, but simplified. It's super easy, very intuitive, removing all those bells and whistles that my mom is never going to use, my little brother is never going to use, and that's really what these 2 cameras are driven for. Those people that just want something simple, easy, and they don't need pro level. My mom doesn't even know what 4K is. She doesn't need something like that. She doesn't even have a computer. I mean, if you're working on a computer from 2008, a Black Edition is going to be way too powerful for you. But hey, that's where we sit. We sit on this pro level side. Our athletes, our media team. And if you look at the Hero 4 lineup, we have 3 amazing cameras. We have the Bangarang, the Top Dog, the Performance Horse, and that is our Black Edition. It's the reason that we are known for the image quality and the things that a GoPro can do, because that Black Edition truly is one of the world's greatest capture devices that's ever been created. And then we look at the Silver. It's the perfect balance between that professional level quality and also having that convenience of the touchscreen to frame up your shot, control your settings, and make it much more intuitive. And then now, we get to add one more camera to the lineup, the 3rd one, and that's the Hero 4 Session, that will allow us to have the smallest, the lightest, and the most convenient GoPro ever created, really giving you that ultra mountable and the flexibility to mount it in any place and anywhere. So if you are comparing specs, you might say, well, yes, the Hero 4 Session is inferior with speeds and feeds. But what a Hero 4 Silver can't do is mount in some of these positions, in some of these locations. And so for someone like me, maybe a Hero 4 Session is far superior in benefits because of its ultra wearable, mountable flexibility. So really it becomes a decision for you. For me, the quality, the specs that the Hero4 Session has is even beyond what I normally use. I hardly ever use 1440 because my computer has a hard time running that high resolution and frame rate. So using 720 and 1080 is what I normally use all the time, or 960, and that's all built in there. So you can see from start to finish, no matter who you are, we're truly building a camera for all of our consumers' needs. It was funny, we have an internal document that was talking about who's GoPro's demographic, and what are the age ranges, and what are the sexes. And I've never seen a company ever have a demographic that says everyone, and not just humans, it literally said everything. Because whether you're a dog, whether you're a cat, whether you're a giraffe, truly everybody is a consumer and a demographic for GoPro. And we want to make sure no matter where you are, whether you just need the simplicity of the Hero, or you are that professional, we have a camera in our lineup designed for your needs. So what comes in the box? And I think this is truly telling too why the price point is going to be driven there. We wanted to make sure that in addition to this unique camera, we package some unique accessories that will give you the ability to mount it in those unique ways and have a great experience. So the first thing you're going to get are you're going to get two different frames. You'll have our standard frame, which has the teeth on the bottom just like a typical GoPro. And this is great for vertical mounting. Top of the helmet, top of our head strap, on our chesty, on the head of our seat post mount, or even here like on the freeway. We also have a brand new mount. This is my favorite because it is the low profile mount. So whether it's like here on the helmet, you want to make it completely flat. The best part is because of the complete flat design, you can flip it around and now get your follow cam, and you didn't have to take the mount off. All you had to do was untighten the sun screw just a little bit, and now you can flip it around. You can do that same concept on the side of the helmet, or anywhere because of the complete flat design. You also look when you start picking up the bows and arrows, this is great for anything that you want vertically mounted. On a surfboard mount, pointing out, on a surfboard mount, pointing back, on a bow and arrow using the Sportsman. It's truly going to give you that low profile ability that has not been possible before. The other two items that you'll get to make the mounting possible is the low profile QR. So we redesigned the QRs, and what you'll notice is we beefed up, again, we want to continue to improve the overall quality, ease of use. So we redesigned the entire QR to be more simple and easy to squeeze out, make it more rigid and durable, but ultimately even more low profile. Using a standard quick release or a J-hook, you wouldn't be able to get that low profile like we have here on the helmet. It's going to look more like this Hero 4, which is massive, and there's no way you can go backward and forward. The other thing is, do you know what this is for? Does anyone know what this is for? This little white thing that came in the box, and most people lose it or they throw it away. It's a lock. Yeah, it's called the locking plug. And it was designed to go inside the grooves on a quick release so that when Kelly Slater's out there getting pounded by triple overhead waves, that the mount doesn't have the pressure to squeeze out and you lose your GoPro in the ocean. Well, if you're like 99% of us, you lose this thing the very first time you take it out of the box, and then when you need it, it's not there. So what GoPro did is actually build the locking plug into the quick release. So now it's always there. So the little locking plug is there. As well as you'll know if your camera is mounted correctly, because unless it's all the way in, the locking plug will not fit into the grooves. So it also is a security device to make sure that your GoPro is securely mounted into the quick release. The second QR that you're going to get is one of my newest favorites, no matter what camera you're using, and that is the ball joint mount. It has an anodized steel ball so that you can truly mount it in any position. I'm a huge mountain biker, and I love the side mount. But the side mount takes 3 to 5 different pieces, and it makes my helmet look huge. If you've ever checked footage from Aaron Chase, from like our Valparaiso, he's got this big, gigantic thing to make the camera look level on the side of the helmet. We also have so many different types of helmets out there. This is a perfect helmet. I love this helmet because it's flat, it's got nice mounting area, surface area, but some of the helmets out there have gigantic rivets, they have holes, they have weird topography, so it's really hard to get that flush look where it's vertical. If you look at an old GoPro mount, you either have it on horizontal or vertical. There was no angle. So what's great about this mount is you're now going to be truly able to angle it to get that perfect angle no matter where you're mounting it. And I can show you on this angle here. So whether I want it facing forward, I can face it backward, I can angle it up, all the way around, I can angle it to the side, and really position it so if I want to adjust a little bit more, I can angle it down that way, or to the side. So you're really able to put it in that position so if it has to mount a little bit to the top or to the side, it can still look perfectly horizontal to your viewing angle and it's not off-center or off-piste. And this will also be a standalone SKU coming in the future. So if you don't have a Hero4 Session and you want to pick up a ball joint mount, you can still do that as well. The other items that you're going to get, you'll get your classic flat and curved adhesive mounts because you've got to have them to put them on things like your helmet, as well as you'll get your micro USB. So when we finish, if you want to come play with these and see how they interact and how they work, please come up. We've got the demo right here so you can see that. The other item, what comes in the box from the Hero Plus LCD is, of course, you're going to get your camera. The camera is not removable from the housing, but you do get 3 back doors. Just like with the Hero4 Silver, you're going to get your fully enclosed waterproof back door. You'll get your touchscreen back door that allows you to about 3 meters or 10 feet, the ability to touch the screen underneath the water. And then last but not least, you'll get your skeleton back door to have full access to the touchscreen and better for audio quality at high speeds because it's not fully enclosed in the waterproof housing. You'll also get your curved and flat adhesive mounts and USB cable. Both of these cameras, though, you'll notice that they're like the Hero. There's no battery. It's not removable. It's all baked into the housing, or into the camera. And one thing I'll say with this session is I was really worried about this. I was worried that it only had the current battery inside. What happens when I'm out there for a week on my surf trip and I only have one camera and have no way to use it if the battery is dead? I have been so impressed, and you'll talk to our media team and they will mimic the same. If you run the camera from start to finish, it's going to be about 2 hours. But I don't ever just start my camera and just let it run for 2 hours. I might record for 30, 40 minutes here or there, and that's what's been so great about using the Hero4 Session is with the 1-button control, this camera has lasted me over 11 days. Like I went and recorded when we were recording shooting with the Bryan brothers. I forgot to turn my Wi-Fi off, and normally that means when you go to use it next time, your camera is dead. Well, I didn't use my camera for 10 days. It was about half battery when I turned it off. I picked it back up. I was like, oh man, Wi-Fi's on. My camera's going to be dead. I won't be able to use it today. I actually ran out of SD card space on my 64 gig before my battery died. I was able to, that Wi-Fi didn't consume hardly any battery using that low power Bluetooth. And when I powered it on, just because of that 1-button control, I was able to use it for all of my recording needs and I just ran out of space. But I've never had a camera that has lasted 11 days before, or 4 or 5 sessions of recording. It was the only camera when we were shooting this new reel that has ever lasted an entire day of shooting. A silver and a black has never lasted our media team an entire day of shooting before. So extremely awesome when it comes to the performance of the battery life. Now, if you want to access your different modes and different ways to control it, the great thing is this has built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, the same Bluetooth and Wi-Fi that's in the silver, the black, and the Hero Plus LCD. So you can control this with your iPhone, your Android device, your tablet, or with the GoPro Wi-Fi remote. And this will give you full access. You're only able to access your video in your time-lapse mode when it's connected to, when it's not connected. When it's connected, you'll see a very similar layout to our other cameras. You can change it to video looping. If you're a burst mode fan, you can change it into burst mode, or you can take your classic single camera. So a great way if people are like, well, it doesn't have a screen, how do I frame it up? I'll just connect it to your device. Or connect it to your Wi-Fi remote so that it can be remoted, it can be mounted remotely. And then you can also adjust the settings and all that great stuff right from the device.